Now, coping with grief is something we all have to deal with at some stage in our lives. The internet can be a source of great support and comfort to people when they lose a loved one. We're joined now by blogger and author Helen Bailey, and that's something that you turned to. Tell us what happened to you.
Well, the book is based on a blog that I started after my husband drowned whilst we were in Barbados in February 2011. He went into the sea for a swim against my advice, and he got caught in a rip current and drowned, and I was wearing a bikini whilst this was going on. And I am a professional writer. I'm used to churning out thousands of words, very tight deadlines, and I found myself completely and utterly shut down with grief. I couldn't write anything. So I turned to blogging to chronicle the sort of everyday minutiae of grief. So though buying a single Scotch egg, pulling the wheelie bin out at night on my own, going to parties as a single person that I hadn't done for 25 years. And eventually the blog became a book. And the book is a collection of as it happened grief posts, reflections on the last 4.5 years, and also material that I did write about at the time, but I didn't feel that a blog was the right medium to put such personal material out.
So for you, documenting your innermost thoughts actually helped you through that grief process?
It was invaluable. I think it gave me three things. First of all, it was an outlet for my grief, to just simply be able to sit at a keyboard and batter away and get it out. The blog was never started with the idea of helping other people, but when it began to help other people, when the blog went public, originally it was a private blog and then it began to get shared and went public, I realised it was helping other people. But the third thing, and I think the most important thing for me, was that blogging gave me a space. So let's say I was out and about and something happened, and instead of becoming completely mired in grief, I would think to myself, oh, I must write about this. And just for that moment of going from being a participator to an observer gave me just that little space, which was so welcome at a time when I was just overrun with emotions.
To what extent was it those interactions with those that were obviously reading your blog that provided support? I mean, I find it interesting because so many people, their experience of social media is not a supportive thing, but a rather negative one.
No, I mean, well, there have been negative comments, and there were people that sort of said, oh, you know, come on, get a life, you know, your husband's died, just get on with it. But the band of people who were bereaved, not just having lost a husband or a wife, but had lost mothers, fathers, a child, there was a feeling of solidarity, that we were all moving together, that we weren't actually mad, that we were grieving. And I never felt that my blog was my blog. I felt that it was my chance to put a topic out there to say, you know, I've had to go through the first Christmas on my own, and then everybody else came in and contributed. So there was really this feeling of solidarity, that we were all marching together, holding hands. And one of the lovely things about the book is that I went back to 31 of the people who had contributed comments to ask for their blessing to use their comments. And you know, 29 came back. These are not people I'd kept in touch with. They were people who'd given an internet address for web safety. And 29 came back, 2 just went into the ether, and they all said, you know, life is good again. I never thought I'd say it.
Helen.
I never believed it, but it's good again.
Helen, to end on a positive note, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much
Helen
for
Bailey's
inviting
book,
me
When
in.
Bad Things Happen in Good Bikinis.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see what's happening with the weather now with Neth.